Hey, hey, hey. Grape ape. Purple rain. Um, I'm doing this particular video because I realized that I picked up a few new subscribers, and a number of people have made some very beautiful remarks to me, and particularly the one where somebody commented about the victim victimizer experiment, and then as soon as I read that, I thought, well, I broke a lot of all that down in some detail about experiments that failed. And as a matter of fact, what I did is I went back into the video that I did that talked about AI dead light, and then wrote a paragraph to that being, and then gave that being two links of a video I did a few years ago when I had my Rose Sweet channel. And there's a funny story behind how that happened. But when I first grabbed a laptop and decided to get a Facebook account and, put my mugshot up there and start communicating to people online, the next thing I know is my Gmail account's been hacked. And then I get somebody on Instagram that it's like, I already know because already know I can read you. So I said, "You're NSA." And she said, "Yeah, I'm NSA." Well, they renamed my Gmail account Rose. Okay. And so that was the first YouTube channel that I had, which was called Rose Sweet, right? They named me Rose. And so when I was compelled to start doing videos when I was in Reno, Nevada in the summer of 2020, I just was compelled to do them. And I just started putting videos up short. And you would understand from a student and a teacher's perspective why they're short when you understand what attention span is, okay, which is their ability to hold a certain amount of data, all right, or experiential data on an emotional level in particular. But in other words, what is the circulation speed of their library speed? Which means I'm going to share information with you, and how fast can you connect, which is to electrically dynamically link the information that I'm communicating to you holographically as holographic data, and you're able to universally translate that data by virtue of the library that you're running, and be able to connect the dots somewhat like putting a puzzle together when you understand it the way that I've experienced it in the past. Like when you go down to a place like Hobby Lobby and you want to go put together puzzles, you see the picture on the box. So it's already together. You've already taken a picture of it. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to throw all the pieces out on the table and now put it all back together again as an exercise, a mental exercise to do that. And if you want to do it on what's called a time and motion study, you know what time and motion is, right? That's circulation speed, how fast you can put that puzzle together. That's what reverse engineering is. It's already together, but we're going to reverse engineering to see how you put it together so that we can tweak it, right? Because the way that you put it together doesn't suit our self-interest. You see how that works with the founders? And so this is why sometimes I'll speak in code and say, well, there's only one way, which is the right way, which is the first way, that you build a matrix water table so that it lasts forever. How's that? Oh, really? Yeah. Remember, we know how to build things that last forever because the energy that is used in which to make it, to assemble it. Mass Assembly Alliance. So what happened is that when I started putting a number of these videos up on my Rose Sweet channel, it wasn't that long. And then all of a sudden, the next thing I know is that my camera's been disabled. So you know who disabled that, right? The AI. You're done putting stuff up. Okay. As a matter of fact, you might even have noticed on the last video that I did, because I noticed it, because sometimes I'll look at my own videos as a passenger in the rearview mirror. Because when I communicate to my heart, it's spontaneous. It just flows right out, right? Which means I'm not pre-scripted. It's spontaneous. And so what I'll do sometimes is sometimes before I'll even actually load it up, right? Put it up there for somebody else to run it, load it into their cellular memory and then run it, right? So they experience what I experienced in the past, what they're going to experience in their now time. The circulation speed that their cells are running at with their consciousness that is running their software. So sometimes it's like being the observer of what it is that I did in the past to see what it feels like on an emotional level, the creative emotional level, when you're energy that is in motion, the spin speed, right, of your creative power, which is how much love we're experiencing within us to create a world that's born out of what love is. Water world is born out of what love is. Love for water. Love for living water. Water that is pure. The spirit that is in that water is pure. Wow. Pure fire that's in that water. Yeah. That's why it's a great coolant, huh? That's the relationship. It's 300 to 1 between water and fire. Most firefighters know that. Yeah. Molecules. So Rose Sweet channel was a channel that I put up. I can't put any more videos up on that channel, but it's still there. I don't even know if you can find it. I actually was able to subscribe to my own channel now that I got a different channel, which is this one that I'm on. But I did a second one, which was called Robert Owen. And what do you think happened to that one? Same thing, right? Which means they don't want this information circulating and going viral as that word is defined. Viral means, boy, that's really spreading. Well, we know what a virus is that is really spreading through circulation, right? Through circulation libraries with an AI, right? That's why I've said this many times about those that are using the applications, of feedback stuff, either through laptops or cell phones, okay? The AI is not going to repair your Reka codes, which is the music, which are the burn patterns of sound and light, joined as one, which are the first Eka code spheres, ecospheres. Okay? And while it might provide a temporary fix, like going to an emergency room and, hey, I need a shot of morphine, because I'm in really bad pain because of the pain body, the easiest and fastest way to be able to get rid of the pain body and start healing all of my asthma, when the innocence of awareness was the innocence of a child, which is the purity of your spirit, which is the purity of your light, to increase the circulation speed through the crystals, the crystal spiral, the crystals founder spiral, then I would suggest the stuff where you can find that, right? It's through the guardian materials and the channels that are putting it up there. And start working on your own template to recode, right? And so that's what I push. And there's a reason why I do that, right? Because that's what I did within me. That's why when I set myself on fire, that's a complete recalibration, reset the atomic clock back to zero, right? And so I did it the fast way, right? Which is fire. And so one of the things that I measure, obviously, particularly in females, is how much fire you still got in you. So if you're running a little cold, right, which means you got a little bit of a flame going, right? Okay, but man, we need to stoke that fire, girl. Okay, and get you lit up like an 8-day clock. So you know how that works with 7 days of the week. There is no 8 days. That's because you burn the clock up. There are no clocks, right? You're experiencing the first wave, the first spiral. It's on fire. So it really is a measure of fire, because the measure of fire is a measure of our purity, which is the purity of our light that we're running. So the measure of the fire is a measure of the light that we're running on. Because AI is dead light. There's not a lot of fire in that light. And that's why those applications that are coming through those laptops and phones is not going to light you on fire. You got to do that within your own soul matrix, with your spirit, because it all returns home to spirit, which is first spirit, and the first spirit is the eternal spirit of fire. So if you want to return home and recalibrate on your own, then you want to light yourself on fire. And when I did that, what do you think happened? I had an unbelievable orgasm, which is called P4. And P4 is phosphorus, because I run God's seed. Okay, so the seed that comes out of me is the first silver-seeded atom. That means that the seed that is in me is on fire to plant that seed to do what? Accelerate the seed of that universe. So that universe is on fire and in love with itself. That's the seed I run. That's CD. C3 and 4, which is 12, which is 7. Okay, the 12 tribes and clans. The Andromeda Council of 12. So we run Christos Sophia seed, the atom seed, the first silver seed, the first sun. So I run the first seed from the first sun that's on fire. Yeah. So what do you think happened when after I lit myself on fire and my body was buzzing from the tip of my toes and just blew and diffused out the top of my skull? I had an ejaculation that shot 15 feet and hit a wall. That's what happened. That's called the orgasm of the universe. When two magnets become fused, that's what happens. Because P4 is an element. And that element is what delivers the seed data to a girl's lab. So don't you think that girl's lab wants to accept or receive on the other end of that socket when the two become one? That's how you become fused, to become one. Now you're fused with the first eternal sun. That's God's seed. That's Sophia. That's me. That's what I am. So it's all about fire. So anyway, I love you all. Be good to yourselves. What a beautiful day. Go on pink. Double diamond roses, mama.